right now from special interests and donors, I could have double and triple what he's got. I've turned it down.
Donald Trump used his usual playbook pages Wednesday night, mugging for the camera, snapping off a few well-placed insults and shots meant to bait the opposition into playing his sandbox method. Now, we have to ascertain if it worked, and how one former CEO refused to be drawn in and now has taken another step in her campaign against the Donald. Welcome back to Big Cheese from the M Network in Miami, Florida. Former Broadcast Network executive, expert reader of all things involving image and presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Thom Mozloom will now make sense of it all. Tom, make sense of the Donald who seems to be really just playing. It's the same act. It looks like a repeat almost of The Apprentice or any other show. Did it work last night?
No, but the people who like Donald Trump are going to like Donald Trump no matter what he does. This is more of the same shtick. People who are serious-minded never took him seriously and never said, ooh, that's my guy. But there's a large swath of people this early on who this is great entertainment. And let's be honest, it is great entertainment. And the shots across the bow to the other candidates and the wisecracks, they all sound good to people until you start digging into the substance, and then it sort of falls apart.
How long is it going to take? I mean, this is all just supposition. We're all guessing here. But how long do you think it's going to take before people actually start saying, come on, we heard that joke before, 1% here, you didn't look good here, your hair doesn't look good there. When do you think, and what is it going to take for people to stop seeing this as nothing more than entertainment?
Well, it's not going to happen because of his looks, that's for sure, because otherwise it would have already happened. This is really going to be something that happens when we get into the primary season. Nothing builds on success like success, and nothing builds on failures in a primary season like failures. He starts dropping a couple states, the shine's going to wear off that. But I think last night was telling. The last hour of that debate, Donald Trump disappeared. He was nowhere to be found.
Well, he looked bored.
Subjects he was versed in. And I think you're going to see more and more of that. And as that happens, more and more people's attention are going to go to the other candidates.
I think you're right. He looked very bored in the last hour or so, like he really could care less to be there. Now let's turn to Carly Fiorina, though. A masterful job in so many ways, but, Mr. Image, let me ask this. What I heard from a lot of folks is that she didn't smile, she didn't relax, she came off maybe a little too strong. Is that something then maybe you come in strong on this one and then you save that emotion, which we saw late in the debate, actually, but see that in the smile later? What she did was right at the right time.
That is a big pile of smelly rhetoric, and I will say that out loud. Every woman in a position of power who runs for politics or CEO is faced with the question of, should she smile more? Should she be warmer? We saw this rhetoric with Hillary Clinton in 2008, and we've seen it all along the lines with every woman who's ever run, and it's dumb and it's off base. Carly Fiorina kicked butt and took names last night, and she looked like the strong leader that Republican voters seem to say they want. She was the adult in the room last night.
You get the feeling then that anybody who says that and says maybe you ought to smile a little more, we got a little sexism running around in here, don't we?
Yeah, why don't we put on an apron and do a spot of you baking cookies in the kitchen?
All right, Jeb Bush did not put on an apron, thank goodness. He also did not bring any cookies. But I'll tell you, it was the time when he went up against Trump a little bit on the insult to his wife. I think it showed a little bit, but people want to see more. Is it fair to say, though, that body language and opinion and just that overall look, we're not going to get fire from Jeb Bush? What you saw last night might be about as far as he can go.
That's probably it. And Jeb Bush missed the golden opportunity. When asked, and you remember this from the show last time when I was on, is Donald Trump responsible enough to have the nuclear codes at his disposal? And the answer, everybody hemmed and hawed, the answer is no! Heck no! Heck to the no! There's no possibility of that. And everybody missed the boat, especially Jeb.
All right, a minute left then. Who really succeeds? We've talked about a few of these candidates. In your opinion, though, is there anybody we're missing as to who really pushed it forward and made it happen, image-wise?
Well, I think Chris Christie did a very nice job saving his campaign. He pulled it back from the brink and had some really nice adult interchanges and came across as a regular guy. I think Marco Rubio continues to push it forward as well. And I think Rand Paul fell off the stage. But the people who looked worse of everybody last night were the moderators. How do you get through 3 hours of a debate without asking a serious question about the economy?
Are we not then at a stage where we need to tell ourselves it's time for the kiddie table to go? The four people who were there we'll never have a chance. You got to stop this, and you got to start maybe bringing 6 or 7 or 8, but this 3 hours is ridiculous.
Yeah, 3 hours is ridiculous. The kiddie table has to leave. Lindsey Graham might have made a case to sit at the big table, but you could knock off about 5 of those candidates tomorrow, and nobody's going to miss them. Scott Walker spoke about 4 times in the 3 hours. If he doesn't want to speak, he doesn't want to be president.
Look at it this way. If Lindsey Graham did one thing, he really hit a lot of good one-liners, because his idea about just going out and having a beer, that might have been what everybody will remember, and maybe he's going to have to go out and have a beer because he might have a lot of time on his hands real soon. All right.
I think I need to go out and have a beer.
I hear that loud and clear, and I'm going to stop right there before I get in trouble. Thom Mozloom of the M Network, thanks so much for joining us, buddy. We'll talk to you real soon. Coming up next on deck, the political animal as the Hardline continues.